Welcome to Celeb Scene Central. Can you imagine a film landscape without David Fincher's work? Fincher has directed iconic films such as Fight Club, Gone Girl, and Zodiac, and even extended his reach to television with a short-lived Mindhunter, which fans are still begging for a new season of, and the animated anthology Love, Death, Robots. But Fincher's career could have ended before it really took off, due to his work on 1992's Alien 3. Alien 3 is regarded as the most divisive film in the franchise, and this is a series that considered making Jesus an alien. But Alien 3 was such a taxing experience for Fincher that he almost gave up filmmaking entirely. Fincher rarely does interviews, but when he was asked about his experience making Alien 3 for Sight and Sound, he didn't hold back on how the production process was a nightmare for him. The movie I set out to do, the one in my head, was so different from what got made. I got hired for a personal vision and was railroaded into something else, he said. I didn't read a script for a year and a half after that. I thought I'd rather die of colon cancer than do another movie. Fincher had to deal with filming without a script, competing visions from various screenwriters, and a version of the film that was crafted without his input. Alien 3 had multiple screenwriters and a director involved before Fincher. Alien 3, like most sequels, was created to capitalize on the success of James Cameron's Aliens. But the road to get there was a rocky one. Brandywine Productions, who had worked on the first two Alien films, were wary about repeating themselves. Sigourney Weaver wasn't on the best of terms with 20th Century Fox, as the studio had removed scenes from Aliens that she felt were important to Ellen Ripley's character. After Alien 3 was greenlit, multiple screenwriters would be attached to the project. Rennie Harlin and William Gibson crafted a story that would have seen xenomorphs overrun Earth. It went unproduced due to the 1988 Writers Guild of America strikes, but eventually was transformed into a comic book series and a novel. David Twohy also wrote a draft that introduced the idea of a prison planet, which made it into the final film, but then president of Fox Eric Roth took issue with the fact that it removed Ripley from the narrative. Fincher also wasn't the first director to board Alien 3, that honor went to Vincent Ward. Ward and screenwriter John Fasano created a story that saw Ripley crash landing on a wooden planet full of monks. When xenomorphs attack, they believe that God is testing them. Ward eventually parted ways with Alien 3 when Fox demanded he make several changes. Fincher then stepped in, eventually rewriting most of the script with Rex Pickett, who he snuck to the film set without Fox's knowledge. Pickett discussed his work with Alien/Predator fansite AVP Galaxy, saying that he was eventually fired when Walter Hill and David Giler, who both contributed to the final screenplay, found out and demanded Fincher use their script or he'd get thrown off the project. He took a real risk with me, and it really paid off because I can tell you right now, it's a way better screenplay than that Hill-Giler script and everyone knows it to this day. They know it, and I'm not saying that out of any arrogance, Pickett said. David Fincher isn't the only person who hates Alien 3. Fincher might despise Alien 3, but he's far from the only one. James Cameron and Michael Biehn, who were both involved with Aliens, had a bone to pick with Alien 3. Cameron took umbrage with the fact that the movie decided to kill off Bishop, Lance Henriksen, Dwayne Hicks, Biehn, and Newt Carrie Henn. Newt's body is even cut open and burned as Ripley fears a xenomorph might have infected her. Cameron didn't mince any words when explaining how he felt about Alien 3 to IO9. Biehn had even more of a personal reason to despise Alien 3. The original plan called for Hicks' body to be infested with a xenomorph, but when a friend called to inform him, Biehn rang up his agent and was able to negotiate a cash payment equal to what he received on Aliens. Instead of using a Hicks puppet, the final cut of Alien 3 used a picture of Hicks. David Fincher is proud of one shot in Alien 3. Even if Fincher wasn't happy with how Alien 3 turned out, there's one image he is glad appeared in the film. Ripley shrinking away as a xenomorph approaches her, mouth open. It's extremely terrifying, both for the proximity and how the xenomorph is shown in full detail with its mouth opening, its prehensile tongue ready to strike. Fincher discussed the process of crafting the shot with Empire magazine. Fincher would continue to direct films after receiving Andrew Kevin Walker's script for Seven, but the toll Alien 3 took on him was immense. It's no wonder he almost quit filmmaking, as any director would have been frustrated with Fox's constant changes and need for control on set. Hopefully, Fede Alvarez, the latest director to take on the franchise with Alien, Romulus, had a better experience with the xenomorphs than Fincher. Alien 3 is currently available to stream on Disney Plus in the US.